my name is Elise and I'm a holistic performance coach helping high performers unblock mental barriers that are getting in the way of them achieving their peak potential. Become the best in your sport, become the best in your field when you rewire your subconscious mind. This is what I help my clients do. Now today, I'm super excited because it's my first solo episode for the Generation Elevation podcast this year for 2025. And I thought, what better than to do a little catch-up episode and share with you the 4 steps in my system that I use to become magnetic to my goals, right? So if you have some goals this year that you want to kick butt on, if you want to cross off those goals from your vision board and be like, yeah, I manifested that, then listen to this episode because I'm going to be sharing with you my 4-step system to becoming magnetic to those goals. This year, guys, for me has come onto a cracker start. Like I am so grateful for all of the amazingness that 2025 has brought into my life. And I am learning so much about myself, about life, and we are seeing the trends of AI take over, and it's a really interesting time to be alive. So the first step in becoming magnetic to your goals, guys, you're going to need to write some notes here today. So if you are driving, like make some mental notes, but if you have a chance, like make sure, got your phone out, write these notes down. Number 1 in my system is to ask for what you want, okay? Asking for what you want, setting those goals, getting clear on your visions. That is how I started off my year. So I'm going to share with you some of the goals that I set and then catch you up on what I've actually been doing. So I've got my journal here and I split my goals up into different categories. So I did like physical, I did mental goals, I did like environment, fun, career, and one of the goals that I did for physical was to do 10 pull-ups in a row with weight. So I'm well on my way to that, which is good. I've done 8. I want to squat 100 kilos, and literally yesterday I squatted 90 for 2. So I'm like, yes, we're on. My goal is to, in this year, bench 80 kilograms. Okay. If you're like not a gym person, you're listening to this, just don't worry. Just, fast forward 30 seconds. I did 70 kilos for my bench yesterday, or the day before yesterday. I'm literally like, oh my gosh, I am achieving these goals in the gym that like the younger version of me only dreamed of being able to lift. Like squatting 100 kilos, that has been a goal of mine since I started lifting. So really grateful for that. Another goal for like mental, I wrote down meditating daily. Now, I would say 99% of the days for this year, I have meditated daily. So I'm really proud of myself. I also wrote down to do gratitudes daily. So I've been writing down in my journal things that I'm grateful for every single day. And then for my environment, to be living in a space where I can do my podcast and things like this. So I'll share with you a little update on that soon. I also wrote down to make sure I'm having more fun this year, go to a large festival. I want to actually learn how to sing. So doing some singing lessons, that's quite an easy one to tick off as well. With my career, there's a couple of things that I have always wanted to do, and you will see these things come to fruition this year. Like they're done, they're locked in, they're loaded. And guys, literally the last 2 months after writing that down, like this was at the start of the year, so many things have started to just manifest, boom, 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 into my life. Dream clients, dream opportunities. I ran a corporate workshop for the very first time, getting paid for it the other day. And it was a cold audience, a cold room. And I went in there and I did my thing. And the feedback was so amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so grateful. And I feel like I'm really onto something here. So my workshops, if you haven't been to one before, consist of breath work, meditation, energy healing, sound healing, and I also do teaching as well. So coaching people about the things that I talk about on my podcast. So if you haven't been to my show, my podcast, oh goodness me, if you haven't been to my workshops, then listening to my podcast will give you a very clear idea of what I'm about and the topics that I like to coach on. So that was really cool. The clients that I've been working with are absolutely amazing and they're getting incredible results. And I've actually also been running monthly events at a members club called Soho House in White City. And that has been such a confidence boost for me because doing these regular classes has allowed me to access more people and share this work with them. And so I'm getting regular feedback about the work that I'm providing, and that has been so helpful. I think for a long time, if you've been here watching my journey, you would have seen the way that I ran classes was quite sporadic in the past, but now that I'm doing regular classes, it feels so good, and the opportunities that have come from that have been really amazing. So these are some of the things that have happened in my career. And then in my environment, I actually moved into a new space where I can record my podcast from. So that's where I'm recording. I've got the camera set up and I just feel like we're moving. And you guys, you would have seen the new cover art. You would have seen the new intro sounds. And I feel like it's more me because the last couple of years I have gone through a huge shift, a huge transformation, and wow, the old stuff, it wasn't really resonating anymore. And I'm sure you guys could agree that we have up leveled, you know what I mean? So if you're still listening here and you're like, okay, Elise, give me those 4 steps. Like we know that you are doing amazing, okay? And just know that the amazing things that are happening for me, right? I'm just your reflection. And I want to show you that I'm doing this, so can you, right? And I'm just so grateful for the momentum that sticking at this game for years now and finally feeling like, whew, let's go. We're on. And I know that you will have this feeling too. So my 4 steps, if you're writing notes, write this down. The first one is getting clear on your vision, asking for what you want. When you're clear on your vision, you know that you can now ask, right? You'll meet people in your experience and there's a vision of what I want to do this year event-wise. I've been showing people in conversations, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? This is what I want to do. Can you help me? And maybe these people, they'll say no, or they won't know anyone that does that work. However, the more you keep talking about your vision, you'll find that you start to line up with the people that can help you. So get clear. What is that dream life that you want to live? What is that dream vision that you have for yourself? And just be obsessed with it. Keep talking about it because eventually you're going to come across the right people that can help you get there. Number 2 is to make sure that you say no to the things that do not align with your vision. So I'm very lucky that I'm in a space with my momentum at the moment where a lot of things are manifesting, even opportunities that actually don't line up with me long term. For me, I don't want to be an instructor going from place to place, and I'm finding lots of studios wanting me to run regular classes. My thing isn't like a regular class. My events are strictly like exclusive events. And that's how I want the experience to be. Like if I ran a party every single day, like you guys would get tired of it. If I did a podcast every single day, like I want to make sure that we have some time and space apart, you know. It's like a relationship, right? If you see your partner every single second of every single day, you're probably going to get sick of them. And that is not the vibe that I want to give for my classes. So I've had to say no to opportunities that have come to me, whereas in the past, I would have just said yes to everything. So I want to encourage you right now to ask yourself, what am I saying yes to that actually is a no? Does this line up with my vision? It could relate to your partner. Are you saying yes to a partner that doesn't line up with the vision that you have? Is it your career? Is it your environment? What are you saying yes to, but actually you mean no? That's number 2. So we've got getting clear on your vision, asking for what you want. Number 2, saying no to the things that aren't in alignment with your vision. Number 3, making sure to celebrate your wins. I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Celebrating your wins along the way is so important, especially as high performers. Like if you're listening to this right now, you're probably a little bit of a perfectionist, just like myself. And when you achieve something, it's like on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. It's like, yep, done, yep, done, yep, done. And unfortunately, with that mindset, it becomes a hustle. It doesn't become fun anymore. And so it's important to actually like brag and celebrate how you are doing, the wins that you are achieving. Like for me, when I go throughout my day, I'll always make sure to celebrate myself. I'll write it in my journal. I'll share it with a friend. I will make sure to celebrate even the smallest win. It could be just one person messaged me on social media and said that they liked my podcast. Yay, a win, right? Find the little wins along the way, because if you have a vision that you want to achieve, most likely there's going to be a journey attached and involved with that. And if you are doing it just for the outcome and not for the journey, it's going to get really miserable. Same with like weight loss or building muscle. If you went into the gym and just hope that you get the transformation straight away, right? Then there's no journey. Unfortunately, it's not like that. It's you in the gym, making sure you're tracking your calories, making sure you're getting enough sleep every single day. And then after a few weeks, you'll start to see the results. But between that time, you've got to appreciate the wins, the workouts, the moments where you do hit your calories, where you do hit your protein goals, all of these things. That's exactly like life. And lastly, number 4 is to make sure that you have fun along the way. How many of us enjoy what we do and we love life? Like most of you listening to this are probably very positive thinkers, right? No one that's negative is going to listen to a personal development podcast. Like, let's be real. So if you're here, your most likely default is a positive mindset. However, with that, it's actually really hard to switch off. Whereas you're always going, you're always on, there's always more to do. You're happy to do more because you enjoy the process, right? But if we're always in work mode and we don't switch off and have that balance where you're not thinking about that thing that you've been thinking about, then it doesn't create space for creativity to come through. So for example, what I mean is myself, I love what I do. I love coaching. I love teaching. And so when there's nothing to do, I'll just keep doing it because I love it. The thing is with that, when my whole entire week is built around coaching and recording and content creating, I actually find that my ideas get really dull and I can't think. I'm blocked creatively. And so I'm sitting there on the laptop being like, oh, I've got to make content. And I have no idea what to create because I haven't had time away from work to have fun, right? So with this last point, if you're a high performer, if you're always on the go, if you struggle to switch off work mode, this one is for you. To spend a day not thinking about work, not thinking about the thing that you've been thinking about. And I guarantee you, you will feel so much better. The ways that I've been doing this is booking a class externally and going to someone else and receiving that from me. So for example, I went to a sound healing class in the city and that was really nice because I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to facilitate it. Another thing that I've been doing is like going to different parts of London and exploring different places, going to different restaurants and food outings, spending time with new people. The singing lessons will be in there somewhere. And I also am thinking about doing some dance classes as well while I'm here, because that's for me fun and it's not really associated with work. But when I do those things, it helps my work because it allows me to have that balance. So let me just run through those 4 steps to being magnetic again. So asking for what you want. So you get clear in your vision and then just be obsessed with it. Keep talking, keep asking, because you never know, the person that you're closest to might have the answer for you. Number 2, make sure you just ditch anything that is not in alignment with that vision. Say no to the things that don't line up with that. Number 3, to make sure that we are enjoying the journey. Enjoy the journey, right? Celebrate those small wins along the way. Like, you deserve to be celebrated. And when you celebrate yourself, you'll find that this is then actually reflected back to you externally via the people in your environment. If you're never celebrating your wins, then why would anyone else? Number 4 is to have fun along the way and make sure you have the balance. I know you find that work fun or that situation that you're in fun, you're good at it, and there's always more to do. It never ends. However, it's also important to make sure that you have fun, because the frequency of fun, the energy of fun is magnetic. So if you do all of these things, you will become a magnet to your goals, and you will find opportunities and synchronicities will just start to fall into place in your life. And you'll be thinking, oh my gosh, this is so magic. This is so magic. And the way that this all happens, for me, especially the last 2 months, has all been magic and vibration and energy, focusing on feeling good, having fun, asking for what I want, saying no to what doesn't serve me, and enjoying the ride. That is how I've managed to move into a dream space, for my strength in the gym to be going up, feeling super confident, having worked with incredible clients, to be running sold out workshops with 80 plus people on the wait lists, like working with incredible brands, manifesting a dream brand deal. All of these things in the past 2 months have come into my reality, and I wanted to share this with you. 1, to celebrate, but also to let you know that if I can do this, then so can you. So can you. Right? If you follow these 4 steps, you will become a magnet to those goals. Enjoy.